Oh, it's on! I finally get to introduce Big Gabe on this channel. It's HeRoMaRinE! Our Terran player hails from Germany and plays for Mouse Sports. His Zerg opponent is none other than TLO! Nostradario also hails from Germany and plays for Team Liquid. And he's also sent out an early drone that we're going to need to watch carefully. We're playing on Golden Wall, a map where weird stuff happens. And a good example of that might be this second drone that's now mining the backdoor minerals. Grab on tight, folks, because I think we've got double cheese happening here. I'm not sure how this is going to come together, but I can't wait to find out. There's going to be a proxy hatch, but it's going to be quite distant from the Terran main and not near any minerals. So far, at least, there's going to be no hatch at the Zerg Natural. Meanwhile, TLO's still mining that back door, but only with the single drone. So whatever he's doing there, it's going to take a while. Meanwhile, HeRoMaRiNE's almost got his racks done. The pool is yet to start. Oh, there it is. The build timings aren't that far from what we're used to right now. It's just that the Zerg Natural is very unnatural. Meanwhile, Gabe is keeping things real and standard. He's going to immediately start that Reaper. Let's see if that SCV is going to catch what's up here. The SCV selects a tight scouting path. He's too far south. And not detecting the cheese, Terran's going to go ahead and start that CC at his natural, directly on ground. That is not ideal. Meanwhile, that drone makes it to the second layer of the backdoor minerals. He mines it out. That was quicker than I thought it would be. Oh, TLO's sending over a second drone to supply his proxy hatch. HeRoMaRiNE still doesn't know about it. His Reaper is out. He gets a second chance to find it. There's that supply drone. Oh, the Reaper is going to scout for proxies. Is he going to find it? Let's check his vision. He checks his third, but that's not where TLO has stashed it. Is he going to go down? He is. He spots it. He doesn't, though, have the vision to see that that drone has just added a roach warren. But it's pretty safe to say that Gabe knows enough. He has the idea. How does he react? He throws down a bunker at his main. Is he going to cancel his natural then? TLO is still using that drone to try to mine out the minerals to make a second door into Terran's main. And there's going to be a queen at that proxy. TLO hasn't completely stopped droning, so I assume this has to be all in, but I'm not sure. Meanwhile, Gabe confidently continues to build that CC on the low ground. Oh, he is going to add a bunker, because by now he absolutely has to know that roaches are on the way. The queen is out. She's going to try to chase off that Reaper. And the roach warren finishes, resulting in the immediate production of 3 roaches. Terran's not really making any units. He's just teching like mad. He starts a pair of reactored Marines. He's got to put something in those bunkers. Meanwhile, Terran's scouting SCV makes it to the Zerg base. There's not a lot there to find, though he does find the minerals mined out. He now sees there's a second part to this. He's got a starport coming, and he's still cranking Marines. TLO's roaches are here, but he's converting them into Ravagers. And he's adding 2 more roaches behind it. Oh, he's going to try to intercept the Reaper. That Reaper could be a real pest if he gets to the Zerg base. Oh, he escapes the contain. That is not good for the Zerg. I really like this for the Terran. There's a single queen at the Zerg main, and that is it. On the other hand, 4 Ravagers and 2 queens at Zerg's forward base is pretty threatening. Terran is going to add a Cyclone, and he finishes his starport. Oh, he thought about a tech lab, but decided to go for a medevac instead. Maybe he likes the intel his Reaper is sending him, but he'll have to survive long enough for that medevac to be produced. For the moment, though, TLO is not attacking. He seems to be waiting for a huge round of a dozen Lings and Ling speed to complete. Oh, the Reaper's going to catch the backdoor mining drone. Yeah, he's all alone and done for. With all the action this game has had, it's hard to believe that's actually our first blood. And the attack is sprung! Corrosive biles annihilate the bunker. Terran did manage to retreat, losing only a single Marine. Looks like HeRoMaRiNE's gonna sack his natural. He's gonna lift it off, but he's about to become a one-base Terran. Zerg is not pushing the attack. HeRoMaRiNE's gonna have himself a siege tank pretty soon. The Queens try to get some shots off at that command center, but the Cyclone forces them back. Meanwhile, the medevac is here. Oh, it's loaded, baby. Hooray, Master Chief. There's 7 Marines on board. All of them heroes. The Lings are streaming in to reinforce the Zerg attack. That means there's even less at home for the Zerg. This game's gonna start to have some early base race potential. Man, I totally need a graphic for that. The base race alert graphic. Where's it been all my life? TLO's using his biles to pick away at the Zerg defenses, but he might not appreciate he's got no time. He's about to be horrifically dropped. Fortunately, Ling Speed is gonna finish, but there aren't actually any Lings here. TLO's gonna make roaches to defend, and he's gonna pull the drones. Oh, they're not attacking, they're fleeing. Oh, HeRoMaRinE gets the queen. HeRoMaRinE has just commandeered TLO's main. TLO has no choice now. He's gotta return the favor. He busts his way up the ramp. The SCVs are pulled to join the fight. TLO gets the critical siege tank. A second one pops out of the factory, but Zerg's gonna get that one too. Does Zerg actually have enough? Hard to tell, the SCVs are just swarming him. No, TLO taps out. HeRoMaRinE takes a really cool game one. Okay, so the little one loses the game, actually gets whomped rather badly, and still, this video is all about him. He's just that interesting a player. What was the thought process behind the double cheese? What was that backdoor mining drone actually doing? Was the idea that the Ravagers would do a slow siege in a contain and then Speedlings would later slip in through the back? Because it was going to take a long time for a single drone to make all those trips across the map. What if the idea behind the double cheese was, if your opponent spots one underhanded maneuver, he'll stop searching, drop his guard, and then the other will make it to fruition? I thought originally that the drone was backdoor mining as a fake to distract HeRoMaRinE from the proxy hatch. But even after the proxy hatch was discovered, TLO kept the backdoor mining up. Even after the backdoor mining drone itself was discovered, TLO still kept it up. Was this a bad strat? If HeRoMaRinE doesn't Reaper Scout it, I think it's golden. Maybe even golden wall worthy. But Big Gabe did so many things right here that another player might not do. He scouted for proxies, and not just at mineral sites. He slipped through the contain and got his Reaper over to the other side to confirm there was nothing at the main, and then he correctly gambled that he could tech to a medevac and still hold. For that matter, TLO could not have known, but looking back on it, there were early timing windows there. For example, if Zerg would have attacked right when TLO's first 3 roaches popped, Terran would have had only a single Marine to go with that Reaper for defense. A pretty tough hold. And I'm cherry picking, but if Zerg attacks right when it has 3 Ravagers, 2 Roaches, and 2 Queens, there's nothing there but 3 Marines and 1 Reaper. Though the first Cyclone wouldn't be that far off. What I'm saying is, this build could have functionality. It wasn't just an entertainment build. Anyways, after a game like that, what can we expect next? You've heard of the battle between good versus evil, law versus chaos, the rich versus poor, but there's also big versus little. Team Liquid's the little one! Both our players hail from Deutschland. There's a ton of great German pro players right now. He's called HeRoMaRinE, but we love him as Big Gabe! HeRoMaRinE is the top German player right now. Aligulac has him ranked 9th in the world. TLO's ranked 5th nationally. He's number 53 in the world, so we have a clear underdog here. But I love to root for underdogs, especially those who have to simultaneously manage carpal tunnel syndrome. It's a hatchverse for TLO, no sign of early shenanigans this time. And so far, it doesn't look like Gabe sees any particular reason to change up from his Reaper Expand build from last game. We're playing on Nightshade, which reminds me to do a quick shout out to an alert viewer named Dave who picked up on a critical detail I missed the last time I cast a game on this map. Appreciate it. Here's our 18 drone extractor pool for Zerg. And we're expecting the SCV that's building the Terran racks to scout after it's completed. And a Reaper that's going to take a moment to check for proxies again. That was a clutch scout in game 1. Racks completes, it will be a Reaper. Terran has to get confirmation on that Zerg hatch. It changes everything. But in the meantime, it looks like Gabe's going to go ahead and build a CC on the low ground anyway. The map's just too large for him to wait. He also fires up his orbital command, but we really want to check what Zerg's going to do when that spawning pool pops. You'll see TLO has it timed out so it'll complete almost at the exact same moment as his hatchery. And for added drama, that should be the exact same moment the SCV arrives. There's the eggplant geyser. And it's going to be double queen, no lings, 2 lings. And the SCV scout's going to pull back immediately. TLO starts ling speed and transfers drones. Back at the Terran ranch, Big Gabe starts up his factory, but he's also making a single marine out of his barracks. It's a relatively newer thing. You get a slightly slower reactor, but you get a marine to deter Overlord scouting. Oh, bad luck for those lings who find the Reaper. A quick snipe later and we've got ourselves a first blood. Grenade hits the mineral line. Ooh, Queen's not out yet. But 2 more lings arrive to try to keep that Reaper busy. But HeRoMaRinE can kite with the best of them. TLO sending a drone to try to cut him off. The Queen pops and attacks and gets him. 2 lings for a Reaper. Zerg will take that all day long. He's also got his 3rd down, which makes it a good start for the little one. Terran's factory completes, and it's time for the Dominion to defy the laws of physics. A starport is made in the background as 2 buildings will fly through each other. Will we see the mandatory Hellions? We do. And will there be an add-on with the racks? No, he's going to make another Marine. With Big Gabe lining up scouting deterrents, we start to wonder if maybe he's got a surprise for us. This could get interesting. Both sides relatively even on workers and pulling in near identical amounts of minerals. Though our Zerg player is droning up heavily. Speed's going to complete, and so is that Terran starport. And the 2 initial Hellions are going to be on the map as well. TLO's got 3 queens, and he's starting a 4th. Unless he gets outfoxed, he should be okay here. Big Gabe is adding to his Hellion count, though. He's going to jump to 4 pretty quick. He pokes out a creep tumor, but the queens are there. He is going to be able to see the timing on the 3rd's completion. What he didn't see is that TLO started a Roach Warren. And that's significant because Terran has started a Banshee with Cloak. You guys probably know how I feel about that matchup. TLO has to know about this. Is he going to be disciplined and sack an Overlord? He did a just say no to the Overlord speed upgrade. He's been kind of busy. Those Hellions have been continuously trying to find their way inside. If he doesn't make blind spores, Zerg could get rocked pretty hard here. TLO knows his timings. Will he put aside the money? Oh, he's going to try to sack a slow Overlord. Remember, Big Gabe's got those Marines. Are they going to let that Overlord inside? The Marines are not covering the entry point. Repeat, not covering it. He's going to slip in there. Terran sees it. He's moving intercept, but he may be too late. Oh, the Banshee wanders right into the Overlord's field of view. Oh, TLO sees everything. He sees it all. He sees the stim. He sees the cloak. He sees the tech lag building on that factory. Zerg has started lair tech. I can't tell if that was in reaction or he did it blind. Oh, as soon as the Overlord is cleared out, Big Gabe changes. The tech lab is exchanged for a reactor and he immediately builds 2 more Raxes. And TLO is going to make the spores. And it looks like he's going to do it just in time. Rather than stream over to attack, that first Banshee is going to give sight to the Marines so they can clear out the second Overlord. I think Terran means to add that second Banshee to the attack. That way he can get that 1-shot, 1-kill thing going. TLO can't be loving his roaches too much right now. That's probably why he's taking his queen count up to 6. Speaking of 6, that's how many Hellions are streaming over right now. I'm not sure yet whether the Hellions are the distraction for the Banshees or the Banshees are the distraction for the Hellions, but it probably doesn't matter. Hellions dart in first. 1 drone is roasted at the mineral line. They get 2 more. The Lings force the Hellions back, but Big Gabe escapes with every single Hellion intact. With the Zerg defense stretched, the Hellions are going to wrap around to the north. TLO's got 4 spores and 6 queens. He's invested heavily in this defense. He needs it to work. He's also finishing up a Baneling nest, by the way. The Klingon warbirds have cloaked. Will the photon torpedoes connect? So far, no. The queens are zoning them out. But let's not forget those Hellions are still out there. Oh, TLO's getting his 4th down at the same time. Gabe begs a drone kill, but he trades his Banshee hit points for it. And the roaches detect the Hellions. This is something they're well equipped to do. They repel that attack. Oh, but it takes the roaches away from the protective umbrella of the queens. Forget the overprotected drones. It's the roaches that are sweet targets. As the roaches die, it really shows that Terran has slowly been getting a supply lead. Oh, up to that moment, TLO had such a superb defense going. Gabe's gonna pull back and land his 3rd. The economic advantage is still with Zerg. It's just that Terran has a much larger army. Look at those Marines. They've got stim, and 1-1 and combat shields are on the way. You know what'd be super cool? If the graphics programmers could make it so 1 or 2 Marines could actually ride on top of the tank. Kind of like in all the World War II movies. Though never mind, because Gabe's Marines have all jumped into the medevacs. There's 16 on board. Zerg is halfway to completing his 1-1 attack and defense upgrades. Terran, though, is slightly ahead. And it's going to finish right while this drop is going off. This is a potent attack. TLO speedlings chase down the Marines and force the pickup. Zerg's going to have banelings pronto. Terran's just going to find somewhere else to put those Marines down. And the Marine tank production is not letting up. Zerg's going to order 7 banelings. But boy oh boy has Terran assembled a combined arms army. He's even still got both his Banshees and 4 of his Hellions left. The Ravagers are going to try to slow the push down while the banelings arrive. They're here. The next few seconds will be critical. Gabe with the Marine splits. TLO strikes before the tanks can siege, but they're still unscathed. Zerg loses all of his lings, so he orders 34 more. But now the Banshees cloak and dart inside, going after the Ravagers. With the Queen separated, it's fish in a barrel time. Zerg has, though, just caught up on upgrades. The Queens are going to rescue the Ravagers, but that means the 4th is exposed. The Marines are lighting it up. Zerg prioritizes the Banshees and cleans them up. But now the siege tanks have position. TLO expends every last baneling he has. He's desperately trying to clear out the tank Marine. Oh, one of those tanks is just 8 hit points within going down. But it's still standing, and the 4th is in serious jeopardy. Wait, can a tank actually stand? I think it's more of a sitting thing. Maybe I'll just say it's still sieging and move on to something more important. Like the fact that Zerg actually has a supply lead right now. It sure doesn't feel like it, though. Terran is on every side. Corrosive Bile dislodges that still standing tank. Zerg attacks the Terran line. It's gonna be close. Is it gonna hold? The 2nd tank has arrived to reinforce, and the medevacs are letting the Marines stim again. Oh, it is carnage! And the Zerg army is disintegrated in seconds. Big Gabe's gonna try to capitalize by once again pushing at that 4th. There's a Queen trying to pop out. Will it germinate before the hatch dies? Yes, it gets out, but the hatch is lost. The Marines then chase down the pulled drones and battle the 9 broodlings. Those Marines are extremely in the red, but with a fresh reinforcement of more colleagues, it may not matter. Also, there's medevacs. They're pretty good too. TLO's shedding drones. He's no longer able to defend, and he knows it. He's tapped out. HeRoMaRinE 2-0's the liquid one. I just said the liquid one. You know you've been loyal to a team for a long time when. I'm sure somebody else has come up with that before I just did, but if not, that's gotta be a thing. Which means I'm gonna go back and make a logo, because apparently I got too much time on my hands. Anyways. Congratulations to me for playing the correct victory clip this time. Just before we go, though, I want to show you one really cool thing that happened in slow-mo. You might remember, just before Gabe kills the 4th, a Queen pops out. It kind of looks like it's transfusing the hatchery, but it's actually attacking the Marines behind it. And when the hatch goes down, the Queen actually does this regal walk through this gory, horrid mess. And it's just kind of a neat coincidence that you don't see happen very often, so I wanted to show it. You know how surfers are always trying to find that perfect tube they call the green room? I do believe this Queen found the red room. Okay, I probably didn't get enough counseling as a youth, but I also want to see that in rewind. A reverse red room, as it were. Okay, so maybe that wasn't quite as cool, but I kinda had to know. Then here's just one more thing I thought was kind of funny from Game 1. The Reapers returning home on move command while the Lings are rallying. The net effect is it looks like they're on the same team, perhaps in a 2v2 game. Or maybe I just wanted to throw this clip up here because I wanted to remind myself that Game 1 was awesome. Anywho, I did want to thank all of you that recently subscribed, as that really helps me out. Hope you're all staying safe from the COVID and that life gets back to normal or whichever way you want it as soon as possible. And may your queens never meet the stim Marines of Big Gabe. Yee. To continue your StarCraft journey, Nova advises you to click the video in the upper rectangle. But Kerrigan warns you to watch your 6 and click the video in the bottom rectangle. Or you can stimpack your StarCraft experience. Subscribe to Zugzwang StarCraft. Just hit the circle. From my base to yours, Zugzwang out.